Hi, Lisa Montgomery with TV Tech, and I'm here at the National Association of Broadcasters show in Las Vegas at the Neoti booth with the company CEO, Derek Myers. What are you guys doing here to push forward the broadcast industry?
Sure. As an LED video display manufacturer, as many people might know, content is king, but we also believe the delivery of that content is queen. And so, in essence, we're taking some extra time and focusing on how we're taking the origination of the content and ensuring that we're delivering it to the display in the intended way the designer or the content creator wanted it to appear. There's some complexities there, but it allows us to do more creative color manipulation of the LED display through our control system.
Okay, so you're focusing on LED displays.
Indeed.
Okay, all right. And how do you see the broadcast industry? What are the biggest trends that you're seeing, I guess?
Well, right now you're seeing a lot of adoption in the virtual reality segment, augmented reality, a lot of additional camera tracking for the virtual reality segments. And so that, again, puts some additional pressure on the LED video display manufacturer to ensure that the content that's intended to be displayed is being viewed in that manner from the display.
Right, so content is becoming more immersive and realistic, so therefore the displays have to complement that.
Indeed, indeed. You know, the human mind is the brain. It's a lot smarter than we are.
Right.
And so as a hardware developer who's trying to deliver realistic content, we're trying to shorten that gap between what the brain can perceive and what we think it perceives.
Awesome. And you know, for the past few years we've heard a lot about virtual reality, and now we're hearing a lot about extended reality. So how does that up the game?
Yeah, well, it's a lot more integration of varying levels of technology, right? So it puts, again, a little bit more onus and pressure on the various companies in the industry to come together and share some of the technologies that they're working with so that we can integrate those to deliver a more complete and immersive environment.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time. We're going to learn a little bit more about your LED here in a minute. It was nice meeting you, and if people want to learn more about Neoti, where do they go?
Yeah, absolutely. They can go to our website, which is neoti.com.
Thanks so much.
Great, thank you.
We're here at the Neoti booth, and I'm with Joe Kipfer. We just spent a few minutes with the company CEO, Derek Myers, to talk about the broadcast industry in general, where we're headed, and how LED displays fit into that market. And now Joe's going to share with us some deeper information about the specific LED display that they are showcasing here at NAB. So Joe, tell us about this.
Yeah, so this wall here is our UHD 89 series. That's actually our flagship series. It's the series that we push the most in broadcast because it hits most of the things that people are looking for at a broadcast level screen. So sort of what makes this different is, what makes all of our lineups different is that our LED is focused on what does our LED look like on camera, not necessarily to our human eyes, right? Because the human eye is one thing, but LED on camera needs a little bit more technology to it, right? So to actually look good. If I make a LED look good on camera, it'll always look good to people's eyeballs. But if I make LED that just looks good for eyeballs, it may have problems on camera. So our philosophy is, it's got to look good on camera. We are a broadcast-focused LED manufacturer. And this is our flagship series. We have all that technology that I just spoke of is crammed into this thing, right? And it's also all solid state. So we've kind of gotten rid of all the cables. We made it all solid state. It's very quick and easy to change and maintain live on air, right? So one of the things about a broadcast level screen like this is we need it to be able to do some maintenance during a commercial break. So if a diode goes out, right, you have 2.5 minutes generally to make that go away, make that diode that's out become on. Well, how do you do that? Well, you change out a module, and how you change out a module has to be a quick change technique, right? Okay. And we have quick change modules. They're live, hot swappable. And then the other thing is, like I said, looking good on camera, you have to have high refresh and low scan rates. So high refresh and low scan rates, we have all that technology packed into here. So it also is, they're bigger modules, And what that means is if I have a lot of little modules, a lot of little squares packed into a panel, then I have a lot of little seams, right? Because I can remove them, but I can remove them in little pieces. And so they're little seams, right? If you have bigger modules, you have less seams, naturally, right? And so we want big modules, low amounts of seams, and a very flat wall. And we have flat latches. We have flat latch technology that makes it really, really flat and really good. And why that matters is when you get from a wide angle shot with a camera, you don't want to see waviness in your wall. You want to see a nice flat wall, because you don't want even people to realize that what you're looking at is some sort of piece of technology.
Right.
You want people to see a video. That's all you want to see. You don't want to see what the video is playing on. You're not looking at gear. You're looking at a video. And anytime you see waves or anything that's weird, your brain starts thinking, oh, I'm looking at gear that's playing a video. I'm not looking at the video.
Interesting.
Right? And so that's kind of our approach there.
So then how does virtual reality play into this? I guess that would make all this all the more important.
Yes, absolutely. It makes it all the more important because in an XR studio, VR studio type environment, it's a dynamic thing, which means that the talent walking around is actually walking around. He's getting closer, he's getting further away, and that camera's doing some dynamic focusing with the screen in the background, right? And all that comes into play to, do I have a good enough broadcast level technology in my screen to handle that? Is it going to get weird when the camera has to change its focus? Is it going to get weird when the camera gets closer? Is it going to get weird when the talent gets closer? All that kind of stuff. And so you have to have all that technology built into it. And there's different technology that works well with different types of cameras. So that's another thing that we do, is we find out what camera are you shooting with, what's your camera situation in your studio, and then we will build a screen solution around that sometimes.
Oh, so this is highly customizable,
yes,
too.
It's highly customizable. We have a product, it's our UHD 89 product, but it doesn't stop there. Like in the UHD 89 line, now we talk about what are you doing and what are you doing it with, and then how can we make that work.
So does that, do you change out panels? Are there different panels
So
that you
it's
use to build this?
on the module itself, there's a lot of technology built onto it. There's things called IC drivers. There's all kinds of things that are on there that might change based on what the camera, what camera type is shooting the wall, right? So if it's a rolling shutter camera, we're going to use a totally different IC driver. And I know that doesn't mean a whole lot, right, to most people, but to me, I'm sort of a nerd. I have to nerd out. I have to nerd out because our quality of the screen depends on guys like me nerding out on this stuff, right?
Right.
And doing the right thing.
Well, it all impacts the end result. So,
yeah, that's right.
And it sounds like you've thought of it all.
Yeah, well, we've learned about it all, and a lot of it has come from messing up. You learn a lot from falling down, and there's been studios where we've put a screen in and it didn't quite perform up to par, and we found out why, and then we fixed it. But then in the fixing of it, we also learned new stuff.
Right.
And so I've been in this industry now for 12 years doing this, and in those 12 years, we're starting to put a lot of that experience now into practice, because we're all sort of learning. Because we'll come up with a nice new technology of LED, and then a new camera type comes out. And then we're dancing, right? Now we got to dance again. And so we got to figure it out.
So you're constantly evolving.
It's an R&D like constant thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Absolutely.
Good to hear. Thanks so much for your time. If people want to learn more about this technology, where should they go?
Yes, ma'am. They should go to neoti.com, just www.neoti.com.